So, I will be discussing the key audit matters related to PADINI Holdings BERHAD, focusing on the areas of lease liability and right of use assets, as well as the audit procedure employed. Firstly is about key audit matters. For PADINI, the primary key audit matter revolve around lease accounting, particularly the recognition and measurement of lease liability and right of use asset. With the implementation of IFRS 16, PADINI is required to recognize leases on its balance sheet, which has significantly impacted its financial reporting. The complexity of lease agreement and the need of accurate estimate of lease term and discount rate present inherent risk of material misstatement. Next, audit procedure. To address these key audit matters, auditor employ a combination of test of control and substantive procedure. Firstly, tests of control are conducted to evaluate the effectiveness of PADINI internal control over lease accounting. This involves assessing how management recognize, documents, and evaluate lease arrangement. If the internal control are deemed effective, auditor can place greater reliance on them, potentially reducing the extent of substantive testing required. Secondly, substantive procedures are crucial for obtaining direct evidence regarding the amount and disclosure in the financial statement. For PADINI, this may include verifying lease data by comparing a sample of leases to original document, reviewing management estimate of lease period, and assessing the appropriateness of discount rate used. These procedures are essential to ensure that the financial statement present a true and fair view of the company's financial position. The last one is about differences in key audit matters over time. When comparing the key audit matter for PADINI in 2020 and 2023, we observe notable differences. In 2020, the focus was primarily on establishing initial processes for lease accounting due to the new standard. Auditor concentrate on how management responded to these changes and the initial implementation of IFRS 16. By 2023, however, the emphasis has shifted toward evaluating the effectiveness of internal control and management decision-making processes regarding lease liability and right of use asset. This evolution reflects a more mature understanding of lease accounting and a proactive approach to mitigating risk of material misstatement. In conclusion, the audit of PADINI Holdings BERHAD highlight the importance of robust internal control and true substantive procedure in ensuring compliance with accounting standards. As the company continues to adapt to evolving regulation, the roles of auditors remain critical in providing assurance on the accuracy of financial reporting.
For the year 2020 and 2023, revenue cycle is involved as risky area. Auditor considered to be material misstatement due to high volume transaction from the perspective of timing and amount of revenue recognized. Auditor designed the audit procedure including test of control and substantive test to address the risks associated with revenue recognition as a key audit matter. Auditor highlight the risk inaccuracy issue while recognizing revenue when company has relied on information technology system. Also, the issues of timing are due to deferred revenue recognition. The reason for choosing test of control is to evaluate the effectiveness of IT system, determine the functioning of the automated revenue system, involve IT specialists to prevent or detect any material misstatement due to high volume transaction. Furthermore, test of control would focus on the reliability of system used to track loyalty point accurately by testing the IT control surrounding the customer loyalty point system. Another reason is to test of operating effectiveness of the IT system. Audit assess the appropriate and efficiency of manual intervention and their integration with IT system while updating product price changes in system by testing the information dependent manual and manual control. The reason for choosing substantive tasks is to confirm directly that reported revenue match the actual cash inflow by carrying out procedure to verify the occurrence of revenue by linking sample cash received to the settlement report from financial institution. Other than that, to compare management estimation with historical rate of redemption of the customer loyalty and examine deferred revenue balance to determine the accuracy. Furthermore, they directly examine transactions at the end of the year to see whether the revenue is reported in the correct accounting period by performing cut-off procedure. In 2020, the focus only on core revenue processes that underline the need for IT system for processing large transaction volume and ensuring the accuracy and timing of revenue recognition. Similar to 2023, auditor continue focus on IT system that giving completeness and accuracy of revenue recognition, but expand the scope that giving more attention on loyalty point system by testing how loyalty point is recorded and captured into the system. Also, assessing the accuracy of deferred revenue recognition associated with loyalty point that has not been redeemed.
I will discuss the audit cycle and key audit matter for AEON BERHAD, focusing on the difference between 2020 and 2023. These changes highlight how audit priorities adapt to operational and external influences. In both 2020 and 2023, the inventory cycle was a critical focus for AEON, reflecting its importance in the retail sector. Inventory is one of AEON's largest assets, requiring attention to valuation, existence, and obsolescence. Auditor must verify whether the inventory exists and is correctly valued, ensuring accurate financial reporting. Auditor perform a combination of tests of control and substantive procedure to address identified risks for tests of control, assess the effectiveness of AEON internal process. For example, auditor might test whether purchase orders are properly authorized. If controls are effective, they reduce the need for extensive substantive testing. Next, substantive procedure identify material misstatement. For instance, auditor may conduct inventory counts to verify existence, inspect invoice to ensure proper valuation, validate account balance with supplier and customer. These procedures are customized based on the risk and materiality of each financial statement element. Next, the differences of both key audit matter in 2020 and 2023. In 2020, AEON audit priority were heavily influenced by the COVID-19 pandemic, focused on inventory valuation due to disrupted supply chains, asset impairment, as economic activity slow, and lease accounting under MFRS 16, given the challenges of predicting lease obligation for AEON numerous lease outlets. By 2023, AEON focus shift to reflect a post-pandemic recovery. First, macroeconomic risks such as inflation and capital expenditure. Second, revenue growth aligned with market expansion. And lastly, sustainability reporting driven by AEON environmental, social, and governance initiative and adherence to new reporting format. Next, I will expand about a key similarity is the focus on lease accounting, as all three companies address lease liability and right of use asset due to IFRS 16 and MFRS 16. This reflects the retail sector shift toward transparent financial reporting. Additionally, the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic standardized focus areas like revenue recognition and asset impairment across the company, revealing shared challenges in navigating economic disruption. The differences of these three companies, first for PADINI, emphasize the expenditure cycle, prioritizing cost control, and for PARKSON, concentrate on the revenue cycle, managing high transaction volume, and AEON by 2023 shift to macroeconomic risk and aligning with broader strategy and sustainability goals. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next, I will briefly discuss the cost and difficulty associated with various audit procedures. First one, more costly or difficult procedure. One of the more challenging and expensive procedures involve company operation or factory audits. For instance, auditors may need to conduct physical count or observe activity at retail location or depots. This is particularly true for companies like AEON, which have a vast network of stores. The logistical challenges and costs associated with traveling to multiple locations to confirm inventory existence and valuation can be significant. Additionally, evaluating right of use asset and lease liability required specialized knowledge of lease accounting standards such as IFRS 16. Next, less costly or difficult procedure. On the other hand, reviewing documentation is a less costly and more straightforward procedure. Auditors can analyze contract, lease agreement, and financial statement remotely, eliminating the need for travel. For example, analyzing lease contract for compliance with accounting standard can be efficiently managed through document management system. Furthermore, substantive analytical procedures such as trend analysis of revenue or expenses provide another cost-effective method for gathering audit evidence. By comparing current figures with prior years or industry standard, auditor can derive insight without extensive field work. In summary, while some audit procedures require significant resources and expertise, others can be conducted more efficiently and more cost-effectively through documentation and analytical method. That's all. Thank you.
PARKSON Holding Berhad highlight the importance of ICT system like point of sale and other tools in managing revenue recognition and processing. This system handles a large number of small transactions, so automation is a key to ensuring accuracy and completeness. However, relying on ICT also brings risks such as system error, unauthorized access, and data issues. Computer-assisted audit technique can be used by auditor to execute substantive procedure or in application control. Among the type of CAAT, audit software such as generalized or custom can be used to interrogate a client system to examine large volume of data which would be inefficient to do manually. Among the specific procedure that can be performed include tracing transaction through the computerized system, check arithmetical criteria, calculating ratio and select indicator that fail to meet certain predefined criteria. This procedure can simplify the auditor task by identifying risk area to enhance the revenue accuracy, fraud prevention, and system reliability in managing high volume retail transactions.